Hello, Commanders. 07 to everybody, and welcome to the continued tour of the galaxy. We are currently at the fleet carrier at the edge of the Conduit sector of the galaxy, and we will be traveling to this fleet carrier over here, which apparently is currently decommissioned. We'll go to the system, see if it's still there. We'll take a screenshot if there is, and yeah. So that's the plan for today. I will have a look to see if there's anything between here and there worth going to. So let's log into the game and make a start. Right, so we are at the fleet carrier, so we're setting off from fleet carrier. This is a fleet carrier right next to a neutron star. So there's nothing in the system apart from the neutron star, a couple of other stars, and this fleet carrier. So we'll just fly over to the fleet carrier, have a quick look at that. So the fleet carrier is the DSSA Unicorn's Rest. Right, so let's plot our route to the next fleet carrier. Actually, I've just had a look at the map. Right, so screenshot. Right, so we're here. This is our next main destination. There's been a lot of traffic through this system, so that is a a planetary nebula. I think, is it a planetary? Yeah, oh no, that's a nebula. Okay, so I've seen that nebula as flying this direction, and it did look very nice. So I think we will probably go over to there on the way. There's a green giant up near this next fleet carrier, so let's plot a route to that nebula. It's only a little bit further on that route. Right, so alright, so that is the nebula. It does look like a fiery ball from a distance. Right, that star doesn't actually appear to be in the nebula. There is another point on the map here, which let's see what that is. That is probably again, the planetary name is AA-AH, which probably means it is the heaviest object in that named region of the galaxy. So we'll head to that, which I suspect. That's just near the nebula. Okay. Right. Let's just go to a random star in the middle of the nebula then. Is there anything in here? Right, slap bang in the middle. Alright, I'm going to go for that one. No, I'll go for this blue one here. So we'll plot a route to that. And right, so let's set off. So there we can see the nebula in the distance there already. How many jumps is it? 25 jumps, so that'll be about half an hour to get there. And we can see the spiral of the pulsar there. So whoever's in that direction from the pulsar will be seeing that neutron star as a pulsar. Oh, right. Switch back to the game so you can see what I'm seeing. So yeah, you're just seeing a spiral of the pulsar just as we jump out of the system. Right, so we will be scanning all the systems on the way, looking for Earth-like worlds, water worlds, and ammonia worlds. If we don't find any of those, we'll just jump into the next system. Yeah, on the thing at the bottom, we should see signals in the Earth-like, ammonia, and water world section, which is here. And again, we're not seeing anything, so we'll just jump to the next system.
Frameshift drive charging.
Heading towards that nebula.
Scoping. Warning, temperature.
Alright, so that's the first star we've crashed into after leaving that fleet carrier. It's taken us down 1% hull already. Right, so there are 11 bodies in this system.
Cannot comply.
Right, so we've had the cooldown of the
frameshift
drive.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Warning.
Can we get away from the star without taking any more damage?
Fuel scoop
Yes, we can.
disengaged.
Right, so let's see what we found. So, yep, nothing there worth scanning.
Frameshift drive charging.
And off to the next sector. No, the next system.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scoping. disengaged.
So nothing there, so we'll jump again.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Fuel scoping. Fuel scope disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Oh, I've got some people join me. Hello, everybody. So we are heading towards a nebula at the moment, which you can see
Frameshift drive charging.
just in front of us there. We are currently in the Conduit sector of the galaxy. The nebula is in the next sector along, which is Newton's Vault, I believe.
Four, three,
After we've visited that, we will be heading towards a fleet carrier, which I believe is currently decommissioned. So just go in there just to add it to the list, and then we'll continue through Newton's Vault, heading following the spiral arm towards the center of the galaxy.
Fuel scoping.
So on the way we will be scanning all the systems,
Fuel scoping
looking
complete.
for Earth-like worlds, ammonia worlds, and water worlds. If we find any of those, we will scan the whole system and then map any planets that we can land on that have atmospheres. Then if we do find anything on those planets, we will go down to the planets and scan any plant life on there.
Frameshift drive charging.
So we've got 19 jumps to get to the nebula now.
3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scoping. System scan complete. Fuel scoping complete.
Yep, nothing in that system, we'll just jump to the next system.
Frameshift drive charging.
So we started the stream off at the fleet carrier called the SSA Unicorn's Rest, I think it was. Might have been Unicorn's Retreat, I can't remember now.
Engage.
Which I was heading to in yesterday's stream. So I didn't make it all the way there in yesterday's stream. I stopped the stream in a rather pretty purple planetary nebula.
Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Yeah, that nebula's getting closer now, and from a distance it looked like a fireball. We're still looking at a little bit that way from here.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Right, so we're now entering Einstein's vault. Yeah, first time I've been in this sector of the galaxy for a long time.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Right, so we have found a system with some interesting planets in there. Yeah, so there is a water world, possibly two, or possibly an ammonia world and a water world. So a lot of geological activity on this planet, so that we're not interested in the geological planets. We're looking mainly for the planets with biology on there. We can get to that one. Right on the edge of the sun. Right, so that's the water world, and that's the ammonia world. So yeah, they're the two high value planets in the system. Let's see if there's any with biology on it as well. I suspect that is probably the large planet. Oh no, no. Right, so for to find, I suspect it'll be the large planet with a few moons around it. So there's the gas giant, and looks like 2 moons. Oh, there's biology on that one, so we'll visit that one.
System
And that
scan
one as well. So
complete.
yeah, we'll visit that planet and see those. Right, so we've scanned the system now. Let's see what we found. Right, so I suspect that the planets with biology on are those 2 moons there. Yeah, there's nothing here we can land on with an atmosphere. So we just want the Earth-like world and the ammonia world, which looks like they were close to each other. So that's the ammonia world. I can't see anything that looks like an water world there. Oh, there's a water world, right. So as that's the closest, we'll head there first. Right, so just 200 light seconds away, so it's going to take us a couple of minutes to get there. No, not even that long. Right, so we'll launch some probes to map this planet. It's a water world, so we're not going to be able to land there. Just mapping this for the data, basically.
Surface scan by 50%.
While that's completing, we'll map in a route to the ammonia
Surface
world
scan
to do
complete.
next.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Right, so it's 13,000 light seconds to the next planet. So that's going to be probably about 4 or 5 minutes before we get to that one. Right, so as it's going to be 5 minutes to get to the, or a couple of minutes to get to the next one, we will play something from the codex. So yesterday we were going through listening to the knowledge base on individuals, and I think we got to Arissa. So right, let's listen to that while we're
Individuals. Arissa Lavinie Duval.
I am a
listening to
daughter,
that while we're heading to
not
that
just
planet.
of the Emperor, but of the Empire. And I look upon our traditions and achievements with pride. I hold, as my forefathers did, that to be born imperial is to receive the blessings of the universe. That is the true meaning of the ceremonial wine tipped upon our newborn heads. Does this pride in our heritage make me old-fashioned? Some would say so. I know that there are those in my family who cannot bear the burden of rank and privilege without a chronic sting of guilt. But I ask that you look charitably upon those so ailing, as I do. After all, rebellion is the prerogative of adolescence. I ask that you reserve your anger for a worthier target. For those who acknowledge our traditions in public, but privately serve only their own corrupt interests. For those who exploit their ancestors' sacrifices while holding our military in contempt. For all the petty, venal, spineless parasites in our very midst. I have sat with many such parasites, and for form's sake, I have masked my contempt. But that mask has served its purpose, and now I cast it aside. To the worms nestling so complacently in the heart of my beloved empire, I say this: we see you, and we are coming for you.
Arissa Lavinie Duval. Private speech given at her post-coronation dinner. Arissa Lavinie Duval is the reigning emperor, having been appointed to the position by the Imperial Senate, and a direct descendant of the first emperor, Henson Duval. Her father was originally thought to be the late Prince Aristide de Lavinie, but Arissa's claim to be the illegitimate daughter of Emperor Hengist Duval has since been ratified by DNA testing. Arissa distinguished herself as a serving senator early in life. Unlike other senators who took their patron support for granted or left the work of intercession to a delegated representative, Arissa made a point of visiting and speaking directly with her patrons. Foremost among her concerns was how little scope for mobility the empire offered. In theory, it was possible to rise in rank, but in reality, Power was hoarded, and loyal service went unrewarded. To her mother's horror, Arissa proceeded to go undercover as a slave in the Lagany household on Akana, talking to the staff and listening in on meetings. What she learned would change her view of the Empire forever. The rules could be broken with impunity, so long as the proper bribes were paid. A senator's favor could be secured, a corporation's accounts could be doctored, and an atrocity could be covered up for the right price. On paper, it might be a patronage system, but it operated as a de facto plutocracy. Arissa's experience as a slave also cemented her own view of imperial slavery, namely that it was no worse than indentured servitude, and downright luxurious compared to what the Federation's lowest paid workers had to endure. Non-imperial commentators responded by pointing out that slaves in noble households on Akana could hardly be held up as typical examples of slavery, and that Arissa might have learned more had she spent her time in a Mastopolos mining facility. Arissa has made no secret of her determination to restore the rule of law within the Empire.
Surface scan by 50%.
She means to purge it of corruption and has received widespread public support.
Right, so it's just bacterial colonies on there, so we're not interested in those. They take forever to find, and pretty much every planet with life has got those on them. So let's see what's on the next one.
For this cause. Unlike her niece, Aisling Duval, she sees the Empire's system as inherently worthy, if impeded by long-term neglect. They need to be cleansed, not torn down and rebuilt, as per Aisling's wishes. As the first woman to serve as Emperor, Arissa is a controversial figure to many, regardless of her personal political stance. Many hardcore traditionalists within the Empire have vowed to depose her and replace her with a ruler more to their liking.
Right, so that was the codex entry for Ashtaval. Sounds like a very friendly character. Right, so we'll map this planet. Oh, that's far more probes than we actually need.
Surface scan by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Again, bacterial colonies, so not interested in those. We'll just move on to the next system now. So yeah, that nebula is definitely getting bigger and looking more fiery the closer we get to it.
Fuel scoping. System scan complete. scoping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Not sure why that jump was only 19 light years. All the jumps should theoretically be in the 70s. Unless there is a huge gap between stars afterwards. I've got the star routes to only jump to systems with scoopable stars, so we can refuel. So it may be that there are a lot of stars around here that, or either there aren't a lot of stars around here, or all the stars around here aren't scoopable. So that's actually looking a little bit like a Nautilus from here.
3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
I won't do too much exploring when we get to the nebula. I generally find that nebulas are already heavily explored, so you rarely find a star in a nebula that hasn't been
Fuel scoping.
scanned already.
System scan complete. Fuel scoping complete.
So, yep, nothing in this system at all.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. Warning, temperature critical.
Yep, so nothing there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Only 8 jumps now, so that should probably take us about 10 minutes.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Hi Paul. Good to see you online. Did you have a good day yesterday?
Fuel scoping.
At the moment, I'm heading towards a nebula.
Fuel scoping complete.
Which I didn't plan to go to, but as it's very big and fiery looking, I thought I'd stop there. Oh, is that an Earth-like world we have found? I suspect not. Let's just check. I don't want to scan this whole system. Right, so it looks like it is. Looks like it is in there. Ah, there we go. No, that is just a rocky, icy world. Yep. So we'll jump to the next system. Bowling, cool.
Frameshift drive charging.
Does that mean you've got loads of extra kids in the house tonight, or she's sleeping over at a friend's? I'm presuming they're all at your house.
Fuel scoping. System scan complete. Fuel scoping complete.
So is that an excuse to do an extra stream? Yep, so nothing in the system.
Drive charging.
Yeah, just 6 jumps now till we get to the nebula. Now, I've been able to see that nebula now for about 2,000 light years.
3.
From the first time I saw it, it looked like a ball with a little rim of fire in the middle. Yeah.
Fuel scoping. System scan complete. Fuel scoping complete.
I set up a Twitter feed, which I think you've seen already. So yeah, I've been using that. It's not had a great deal of difference so far. I've also set up a Padlet page, so people can leave comments on there as well. Yeah, if you look at if you go to the URL on screen now, there'll be a link to the notepad, and comments can be left on there, along with screenshots and small videos, and lots of other things can be posted to that.
Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Another system we're not interested in.
Drive charging.
Yeah, I did that, or did I just tweet Elite? I can't remember what I tweeted now. Yeah, I tweeted Elite Dangerous, Odyssey, Exploration, and Twitch. Yeah, I'm not looked into Twitter that much yet, so I haven't really worked out if I've got followers or not. I suspect I probably don't have that many. That's just a giant gas giant. No Earthlight was there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right, so we have 3 jumps now. So I suspect after the next jump, we will be seeing that nebula as the entire screen in front of us.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Yeah, the tweet page, and saw that you retweeted it.
Fuel scoping.
Right, so yeah, the nebula's getting bigger there. So 2 jumps will be in the middle of it. Right, nothing we're interested in here.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Right, so yeah, we're now seeing the nebula is filling most of our screen. And this should end us up in the middle of the nebula. Right, so this is the random star I chose in the middle of the nebula, and as you can see, it's already been mapped because we can see planets on there. So there's nothing more to look at here anyway. Yeah, so from inside the nebula, they're generally far more spectacular from a distance than they are from inside. Although that planetary nebula I was in the other day, that did look good from the inside. Oh, looks like there's another nebula over there. So unless that is a planetary nebula within it, I think I'm not not far from a planetary nebula. So yeah, so just seeing the galaxy there in the background. Right, so it's time to now plot a route to the next star, because there's nothing in this system we want to look at. Right, so let's look at the map now. So this is not my map, this is the live one. Right, so we are here, which has been heavily visited. We're going to here is our next main destination, but on the way is this system. The throne of Marduk. So you can tell from the planet name or the system name, AA-AH, that will be the heaviest system in the sector, or in the smaller sectors. So again, I just turn the sector maps on there. So this is a smaller sector that the naming convention goes from. Yeah, and that will be the heaviest thing in that sector. So that is where we're going to go to next. It will probably be either a black hole or a neutron star. So it says stellar remnants. That last time I visited one of those was a neutron star. It should only be a couple of jumps away, so it shouldn't take us that long to get there. So how far is it? 100, 2 jumps. Yeah, so 2 jumps to get there. Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that that star is the cause of this nebula that we're in at the moment. So when that star originally went supernova, it could have caused this nebula that we're in.
3, 2,
And although I would normally expect them to be a little bit closer together than that. Right, so go back to the game now.
fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Nothing in this system, so off to
Frameshift drive charging.
oh, I'm sure I said 2 jumps. Oh, still 2 jumps, so it would have been 3 jumps.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Yeah, so nothing in this system, so the next system is the heavy one.
Frameshift drive
On
charging.
the very fact I can see a big blue star in there suggests that it is a... oh, it's a blue supergiant. Okay, so I was expecting a neutron star, so it's a blue supergiant. Is that also a pulsar, or... well, guess we'll see when we get there.
1. Engage.
Oh, bright. Yeah, that is bright. I've not seen one that bright as I've been flying to it before. Yeah, that is just a blue supergiant.
System scan complete.
So yeah, there's nothing else here but that big blue star.
Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete.
Right, so now we'll plot the route to the next fleet carrier. Now this will be quite a long way. I imagine this is probably going to be about 5 or 6 thousand light years. Yeah, 5.5. So yeah, we definitely won't be getting there by the end of this stream. And how many jumps is that? 77 jumps. So that is about 2 hours, assuming that nothing is found between here and there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, so far in this stream I don't think I've actually found anything on the planet to go and visit.
Fuel scoping.
Yesterday we did land on a lot of planets with blue cactus type plants.
Fuel scoping complete.
And I also found an Earth-like planet yesterday as well, but I don't think that was in the stream. Ah, a water world, so we've got something to... So we'll scan the system, so there's the water world straight away. No planets behind the star, that's good, it means we can do it all in one go.
System scan.
Right, so that's the system scan complete. I'll just have a quick look at the system as a whole. Right, so there are 2 planets here that are worth scanning as well. So we'll go and scan the water world, and then we'll go on and scan these 2 planets as well. Right, so I'll just scan this system, and then I'll call call that a day for this stream. So nice cloud formations on this water world. So yeah, we've seen here that this system's already been mapped, which means I won't get the discovery bonus when handing in this data.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Yeah, so having the being so close to a nebula, it means this area of the galaxy will have been visited. Hi, thanks for the. Is that a stream? I'm not sure what that message meant. Yeah, so we are. Alright, so you're hosting my stream. Okay, so thanks for that. Right, so yeah, because this is so close to a nebula, nebulas tend to get visited quite heavily, so you often find that if you are near a nebula, then the systems will have already been scanned. All right. Okay. Yeah, I've seen things playing on your channel when you have not been there already. Actually, that might have been what was happening to me yesterday. I did have somebody who seemed to be continually following me, and yeah, so yeah, that was probably what they were doing. Oh, Paul, I was going to ask you something. You know, you could put exclamation mark something in chat and it will reveal a URL. I was trying to work out how you set that up yesterday. Have you got any ideas how you do that? Yeah, it was Hoss, and there were lots of digits after the number. Right, okay, I'll try and work out how to ban him. So you just type that into chat, do you? Any idea on the exclamation mark something to reveal a URL? I know they do it in the Elite Dangerous streams regularly, but I haven't been able to work out how you actually set that up.
Surface scan by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Right, okay. So right, I'll leave that for now then. Maybe look into that later. Right, so nothing here. So we'll map the next moon, or no, it's a planet, and then I'll call that the end of this stream. Yeah, okay. I will do. Yeah, see ya. I just had somebody else join us. Welcome to the end of the stream. So we're just going to scan this one last planet, and then we'll be calling it a day for this stream. Right, so if you're interested in following me, the URL on screen at the moment will take you to the web page showing the tour of the galaxy that I have been doing. And there are lots of links to the YouTube videos and screenshots that have been taken on the way. Yeah, so have a look at that URL. Oh, that's a good picture of the nebula we just come from behind that planet there. So yeah, we've this stream we came through that nebula. We started off on the closest fleet carrier to where we are in the galaxy.
Surface scan
Went
by
to the nebula,
50%.
then a giant blue star,
Surface scan complete.
and we finished here. So again, haven't found anything on that planet worth scanning. So I'm going to end of the stream now. Yeah, so this is where we are in the galaxy. So yeah, we started here in the Conduit. We crossed through into Newton's vault. And we went to this nebula here, and then there's a big blue star, probably just a few behind us. We are now heading somewhere over here to a fleet carrier. There's a few. I've got a few bookmarks here, so there are a few things here I've visited before. Let's see what these are. This looks like it's probably very close to that fleet carrier, actually. So what is in that system? It's not showing me the system map. That is strange. It normally would show me a system map. So what was in that one there? Right. So so last time I mapped that, and is that probably because that's an Earth-like world? That could be an Earth-like world. No, it's just a terrestrial water world. Right, okay. In that case, if I map that, it's probably notable stellar phenomenon in the arms of the planet. Does it mention anything about that on there? Right, it says I haven't mapped the planet. Right, so I'm not quite sure why I would put that on there. I mean, I've obviously been there before. Yeah, okay. Right, well, that's the end of the stream. Thanks for watching. Do look at the website and the YouTube videos, and I'll see you next time.